So you've had a week with the class so far. Do you know what you're doing yet? Hey everybody, welcome to week 2. Hopefully you've had a chance to start to adjust to how the course is working, because we're going to continue on with the work. What will we be doing this week? I'm glad you asked. First thing I wanted to mention was the COVID vaccine. The university has mandated the COVID vaccine for on-campus students, but it's a good idea anyway. It's a very well-tested vaccine. It's amazingly effective. And in terms of side effects, most of it is just relatively minor stuff like injection site reaction, headache, or chills. For me, I had a sore arm for a day or so after each dose. Other than that, it's fine. And 95% of efficacy is pretty amazing for a vaccine nowadays. It's done very well. Plus, the university, in addition to mandating it, has started the Rocket VIP incentive program for people who have received at least one dose of the vaccine. You register, you submit a proof of your vaccination, and then they will be selecting winners starting August 19th. So it's been going on. They'll select a winner each Thursday. Once they finish, October 7th, University of Toledo will choose one student and one employee for grand prizes of a $2,000 gift card, which is also pretty nice. Plus, they let you ride the UT homecoming parade. That's got to be even better, though, huh? In terms of the prices that they have available, it will include a parking permit for 1 year, $250 worth of dining dollars, a PlayStation 5, a 43-inch television, and a professional on-campus photo shoot, which will inevitably get you discovered, and then you'll end up being on America's Top Model and leaving us. So I don't know if they thought that last one out, but still, it's going to be pretty nice. In terms of where you can get the vaccine, the University of Toledo has them available at the health center on the main campus, noon to 4, main campus pharmacy between 7:30 and 5:30, Monday through Friday. When I was on campus in the pharmacy waiting for a prescription on Thursday, I think within the 25 minutes that I was there, I saw like 7 or 8 people lined up for shots, and it was a pretty quick procedure. And if you're close to the health science campus, you can get them at the outpatient pharmacy there. If you want any more information about the university's COVID vaccine program, about the COVID vaccine response, all you have to do is go to utoledo.edu/coronavirus. Now, let's talk about some of our class stuff. I'm recording this on Sunday, the day before Labor Day. So I have just finished earlier today doing all the grading for week number 1. A number of students will, when you check your grades, notice that you got a few zeros. Zeros can always be fixed here. If you did something that wasn't in the proper format, you did the wrong assignment or something, I probably gave you a 0. But if I gave you a 0, you have the ability to correct that. If there's some work that you didn't get turned in on time, reactions and peer review sessions are kind of time sensitive because the reactions lead to discussions. I can take an initial post from you for those, but I can't really give you credit for continuing a discussion which is already over, and I can't really give you credit for a peer review. But if there's anything else that you missed, an assignment like the ranging essays, get it in. I'd rather see you succeed than not succeed, and I'd rather be able to give you credit. I did give zeros to people who turned in stuff which was not in Microsoft Word format. Strangely enough, I had a few students who answered correctly on the syllabus quiz that I was requiring Microsoft Word format for all files, but then they didn't turn in that syllabus quiz as Microsoft Word format. Don't understand that, but whatever. The thing is, Microsoft Word format is a default file standard from the International Standardization Organization, which means any word processor will be able to save and open Word document formats. If you're using Google Reader, go to File, Download As, and Microsoft Word will be an option. If you're a Mac person using Pages, go to Export to, and Word will be an option there. So anything that you write in should be able to save it as a Word document. So no reason not to. If you turned in something that was in another format or you typed it into the submission box, I probably told you all work needs to be turned in as Word format files, and you got a 0 for that. Just fix it and get it in, and you'll be fine. I didn't comment on it this time, but a number of people were using fonts other than Times New Roman, and I would like everything done in Times New Roman. So from this point onward, if you turn in something, I'm going to expect for it to be in Times New Roman 12-point font, because that is what the syllabus says. And if you don't, I will ask you to do it again. I also did put in the syllabus that I'm asking for everything to be turned in according to MLA paper formatting guidelines. And I was lax this week, but I am going to require it. A full discussion of how to do it is in the links section. But basically, you use 12-point Times New Roman, double-spaced, 1-inch margins all around. You indent each paragraph 1 tab space. No blank lines or extra space between paragraphs. Word will automatically put in 6 points, I think, between paragraphs. You got to get rid of that. Highlight everything, go to layout, and make sure spacing before and after paragraphs are both set to 0. Everything double-spaced. Don't use boldface, larger letters, blank lines before or after the title. Don't try to cheat on these numbers either, because I can tell when something is larger than 12-point font. I can tell when something has larger than 1-inch margins. I see enough papers, I get this stuff. For page numbers, you need to put your last name, a space, and then the page number in the header. Go to the Insert tab, select on Header. It will give you options, and this is what it needs to look like. When we have essays due, I did put the MLA paper setup graphic you see in front of you, which explains exactly how to do everything in Word in those files. But as I said, you can go to links, and if you follow paper formatting guidelines, it spells it out there too. What I would recommend if you own your own copy of Word, and you can get it from IT for about $10, so there's no reason not to, is to set up a page utterly perfectly and then save a template. All you'll have to do is go to Save As, this PCE, select Word template for the type of file, give it a name like MLA format, and then it will be one of the options when you click on New Document. That way, if it's already set up, you don't have to think about it anymore after that. It's a good reason to own your own copy of Word. There were a few people who turned in work. Well, they uploaded work, but they didn't actually click the Submit button. When that is the case, I can't grade it until the student in question goes back in and hits that Submit button. I really can't do anything about it otherwise. So you see in my grades, I think it's a circle that looks like it's halfway coded in blue. That's the sign for still in progress. And I will try to message you in future, but make sure you hit that Submit button, because I just can't grade it otherwise. Now, in terms of the work you turned in this week, I do want to talk about the discussions. A number of people lost points because they didn't follow the full procedures. So this is the full procedure. By midnight Wednesday, you're supposed to turn in your initial post as a 200+ word document. By noon on Thursday, you're supposed to read everyone else's post and ask 2 students questions based on their response. If someone already has 2 people asking them questions, ask someone else, please. Then by midnight Friday, and this is where a lot of people lost points, answer any questions that anyone has asked of you. I really can't accept late work on the discussions because they're time sensitive. They're over by midnight on a Friday. There's no point in leading to the discussion after everyone else has left the room. I did also want to try for this week, though, when I was doing the grading and I looked at your Three Things videos, I thought it would be a really nice idea if we could give you an opportunity to actually talk. So for this week, I'm going to give it a try, where if you want to, instead of writing a 200-word reaction to the readings, I will take a YouTube video of you giving your reaction to the reading. Give me at least 3 minutes of you responding to one of the prompts. Film it like you filmed your Three Thing videos and put it up. And if that's cool, then that's cool. And I would more than happily see that. And I think that would be a way to make it livelier. You're not required to, and this time it's only really for me to test it out to see how well it works. But if we like it, I see no reason why we can't do it in the future. So if you want to, a 3-minute video, load your thing up to YouTube and share the link instead of putting your 200-word reaction. And that would be fine. We'll see how it goes. If you have any thoughts on that one, let me know. I have graded your ranging essays paragraphs, and by and large, everybody did a good job. But one of the things for the ranging essays one, the ranging exercise is a really interesting way for us to all get on the same page, but this is the first one. I don't expect for everyone to be on the same page just yet. If everyone is, cool. But if your rankings were different than my rankings, which I covered in the Ranging Essays 1 video, you need to spend a bit of time thinking about why my ranking was different than what you had, and you need to spend a little time adjusting how you think about these papers. When we do Ranging Essays 2, I hope that everything is going to be a whole lot closer, and hopefully we'll be right on. That would be wonderful if we are. But you got to actively think about this. If you're different, think of why and think about how you can adjust your thinking. I also want to point out, I've asked everybody in the welcome video to sign up for Remind, and while one of the online classes was pretty good, the other one only had like 2 or 3 people sign up for it. So if you're not on Remind yet, please sign up for Remind as soon as humanly possible. If you're not on Remind, I can't contact you if there's something wrong. I can't contact you to give you reminders when something is due. I can't contact you to let you know when a video like this one is up. So get on Remind as soon as you can. Now, in terms of the work that we're going to do for week 2, here's what we have coming up this week. First off, Jamaica Kincaid, the Ugly Tourist, in discussion. It's a pretty funny read, I think. And I used to live in Florida, so I'm familiar with tourism. Before that, I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, which is, again, another tourist trap. So I get a lot of what Jamaica Kincaid was talking about. Even if you've never lived in a tourist place before, I would highly recommend that you think about this, what it would mean to be a tourist, and think of other ways you can apply that to your life. Tourism isn't just where we go on vacation if we were to go to an island or another country. Tourism really can take place and is valuable to us as a critical lens when it's used to describe how someone behaves when they go to someone else's way of life. If you go to a bar on the different side of town, you're a tourist. If you hang out with friends who are of a different social class, you're a tourist. Go to a gay bar if you're not gay, you're a tourist. If you can think of tourism as a concept, it's going to work a lot better for you. And it will be something you can start to apply to your own writing, particularly when we're doing a profile essay. If the people involved in the place or event you're talking about only exist on a temporary basis, there's a lot of the whole tourist angle that you can apply to that essay. And a critical lens is always a good thing. We have Ranging Essays number 2. 3 more essays. I want you to do the same thing. Read them, put them in order. These are a little bit closer together in terms of quality, so it might require a little bit of extra thought. But remember, the goal is after we do the second batch ranging essays, hopefully we're all close to on the same page and we all know what we mean when we say a good essay. We also have a full sample student essay, the punks of yesterday and today. After the ranging essays, we have 4 sample student essays spelled out. And when you're doing a single sample student essay, you're going to respond to it a little bit differently than the ranging essays. The punks of yesterday and today is someone who's purporting to do a paper about the punk rock movement. We'll talk next week about how good the quality is of it. When you respond to student writing, one of the sample student essays, the peer review sessions or such, I have a form I want you to follow, the document evaluation form. I have questions on the front. I have questions on the back. I need you to read the essay carefully. I need you to fill out the form. Give me about a paragraph for each of these answers. I put a sample filled document evaluation form so you can get an idea of the level of depth I want you to take. Give me specific examples wherever you can. Reference specific things that are going on. We also have Writing Skills Builder Narrative 1. Over the summer, I think I've mentioned, I grade AP exams. Well, when you grade 1,500 essays during the course of a week and a half, you get a really good idea of what makes a good paper and what makes a paper. The 3 things I've noticed. Good papers tend to have a sense of narrative flow. They walk the reader through the story of the topic. Things go from a beginning, build on each other until a conclusion. Just as you would do that in short stories, you do that in essays. A good essay walks you through the process. And by walking you through the process of the argument, it does kind of lend itself to a narrative approach. The Writing Skills Builder narrative exercise is more a creative writing kind of assignment than an academic, but the skills transfer over, so I think it's going to be really worth your time. What the assignment is I give you 6 images, and you need to put them in some kind of order and then make a story about them. Here are the pictures. Lush, huh? Figure out some order that makes sense to you, put them in order, and then write a short story about them. We will be putting the best ones up together, and I'll have you read them and vote on them, and the winner of each of the narrative writing skills builders will get bonus points. We'll also have metaphor writing skills builders, and we'll have analogy writing skills builders, and we'll talk more about them when we get closer. The final assignment, as well as whatever videos you have to watch this week, is the profile essay pre-writing. So we'll have a video going over the profile essay, and we'll be doing the pre-writing session. For each of the essays, I have come up with a separate brainstorming activity, stuff that's designed to get you to start to think about your subject. I've got a video that covers how I want the pre-writing to go. You'll write it up, turn it in, and hopefully you'll generate some information that you can use to start to guide where your paper is going to go. So, Kincaid, Ranging Essays 2, Sample Student Essay, The Punks of Yesterday and Today, Narrative 1, Writing Skills Builder, and the Profile Essay Pre-Writing. So that's the video for week 2. Each week I'm going to try to do one of these to give you an idea of the work you got coming up and let you know any of my thoughts on going over your work you've done so far. Remember to get on to Remind so you can ask me individual questions, and I'm happy to help you whenever we can. Hope you're adjusting well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.